Jay here for Stretford, Paddock. This is Howson's Brew. As you may have noticed, though, we've got no Stephen Howson. But don't worry, before you all start kicking off, because we've got someone better. We've got RH is here, Ryan Hopper from Elite Coaching, the man himself. How are we doing?
Oh, very well, Jay. How are you, bud?
I'm all right, mate. I've been under house arrest for a few days, so I've been going a bit stir crazy, man. So it's great, finally, to be out. And the first video I'm on is me and you having a chat, which is great stuff.
Pleasure, mate.
We are going to be getting into it. Get into the comments. Hit that like button. Give your questions to RH as well. If you don't know who Ryan Hopper is, you run Elite Coaching. Tell us a little bit about what you do and who you work with for those few viewers who may not know.
Up the RH. Let's just start with that. Get in the comments. Get in the comments, guys.
Yeah, up the RH. Get in the comments, but it's worth asking him some questions because...
Definitely. So, my name's Ryan Hopper, former professional footballer, semi-professional footballer. Done all my coaching badges and started RH Elite Coaching, working with pro players, semi-professional players and academy players. It just kicked off, Jay, as you know, just working with Bruno Fernandes, Fred, Diogo Dalot, Joe Rothwell, Stephen Ireland, the list goes on. So yeah, check out the social media, have a look at it, let me know what your thoughts are. But yeah, up the RH. Pleasure to be here as always.
It's always
Let's go, Jay.
Good laugh chatting to you, mate, because you're full of beans and you obviously know what you're talking about. You're working with some of the elite players out there. We'll get into Bruno in a minute, but you mentioned definitely. Fred there. I mean, you were just talking off camera, and he's been playing for Brazil in the Copa America.
Yeah,
doing all right as well, hasn't he?
He has. I've been really impressed with him. Just saying. Then we got star of the match.
Yeah, I think it was against Peru. I think he was one of the best players. I think, or the best player. They have got. I think they've got a quarter final against. Is it Chile? Chile tomorrow, early hours of the morning. Obviously. Yeah. You've worked with him. He's a bit of a divisive figure. Let's be honest.
Yeah. No, definitely. We've said this before.
I mean, I know you work with him and you get on with him, but there's no point in lying. But where do you stand with him? Because you've obviously seen him up close. Do you think that definitely he's a player that United can sort of rely on going into next season?
I feel like, obviously, me and you have had this conversation. I know I've had it with Steve and Ads and the rest of the staff here. There's, you've got Bruno, you've got the creative figure in the team. You've got, obviously, people like Matt, who's just signed his new deal today, who can make things happen. As a creative standpoint, you need someone like Fred or McTominay just to protect. I do think sometimes he does overcomplicate things. I just think he should just get it, give it, because he's good at it, the positional sense. He can break things up. He is a divided figure, like you said. A lot of the fans, hit my comments and hit my mentions.
You get it, mate, because
I get it, man. But
we've done it. When he's had a shot and it's gone into out for a throw.
Up the RH and all that. Yeah, I get it all the time. What's going on? You're coaching. You're horrendous and this and that. But yeah, listen, there's a place for him in the side because if he keeps it simple, he does his defensive bits. You look at. I can't put him in the same category as the other sort of players like that, but if he keeps it simple and does his job, everyone goes on about, there's no goals, Fred can't shoot, but to be honest, he shouldn't be really, when he gets in them positions, he should be doing a lot better. I've done finishing with him when I've worked with him. Don't expect too much, that's all I'm saying, but what he does when he gets it, gives it. He's had games where United fans have been saying, credit where credit's due. Fred's had a good game today.
Yeah, I've not been his... I'm sort of on the fence a little bit because I see what he brings to the team. Yeah. And I think you have to look at that. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, despite what some people claim, he's not stupid. He's put him in the team for a reason.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? And now Fred, yes, he can be frustrated, but he does have that energy. He does put himself about the pitch. And when he does the things that he can do well properly, you're getting a massive asset to the team. It's just when, like you say...
Absolutely. I don't feel like he should overcomplicate things, OJ, because obviously what he's good at, his positional sense is good. He can break things up. Just get it, give it to the likes of Bruno. Let him do his magic. Give him the likes of other people to do his magic. Don't be trying step overs. Don't be trying Maradonas. Just keep it simple, my mate, and everyone will be off my back, off your back. Everyone will be all good. Come on. Up the RH.
Up the RH. Help him out, Fred. We will get back onto that in a minute. I'm just going to get into some comments popping off.
Good stuff.
So, Shreyash Batare. Forgive me, that is awful pronunciation, probably if your name, I butchered that one. Says, let me just say, I've never seen so much stuff happen in this little time so early in the transfer window. I'm optimistic for the way things look at the moment. Since to have you back. Jay, good to have you back. I think that is up the RH.
Up the RH.
Football Obsession says, thank you again, Jay, for coming on yesterday. I'd love to come out on the channel. I'll have you on again. Tuesday, it'll be uploaded. I spoke to Keanu, the lad there on Football Obsession yesterday on his channel, young lad, United fan doing bits. So that'll be up next Tuesday. Go and check that out. Ross Murphy says up the RH. We will put a link as well into RH's coaching. Even a lost cause like me it does not just like elite players, is it, or is it? Can I come down there?
It's evolved.
Can I have a go with Fred and that? And Bruno was
Jay. There's always a place for you, Jay, with the RH.
Feeling them outside.
There's always a place for you, mate. It's just evolved, as I say. When you start off, you work with anyone, but it just evolved, very quickly. So it's just pro. I'm just so busy with the pros at the moment, mate.
Good stuff, mate. Good stuff, and it's always glad that you've got time to come chat to us.
Just going back to that comment there about, I think United have been a lot more proactive.
Yeah, go on in the transfer window
because it usually, like you said, we usually wait until the death and things don't get done. Then we're calling every name under the sun, Woodward this and all the staff this and that. But I think credit where credit's due. They've been proactive and they're getting things done. Long that may continue because Ollie can build his squad the way he wants it, and obviously he can work with the lads in pre-season. Let's get things down to a T during pre-season. That's what the time is to work on things. Once he gets that, you're going into the season flying then, and there's no excuses.
No, 100%. I couldn't agree more. There's just a question here from Maurice Carvalho. Says, what do you guys think about Leicester's transfers? They have done good business with Daka, Bertrand and Soumare, all for cheap too. What do you make of that? Ryan, because you see this, you see the transfers and you look at the way Leicester go about their business. They're like the example everyone uses of good scouting. Yeah. Do you agree with that, or do you think that sometimes it's a little 100%?
Bit and obviously Rodgers has got a style. Rodgers identifies type of players and who he wants that can fit his system to play. And I think Leicester, they are a prime example, for football clubs in getting what they want and going in, and they've done it. They've had previous, obviously. They've got a very, very good squad. They've got Maddison and they've got Ndidi. They've got great players to build around. So why not go and add them little areas? I know obviously they used to have Chilwell, didn't they? They didn't ever replace him at the left back. So obviously they got Bertrand in. So yeah, he's a good signing for me. He's a good player. I admire Leicester. I think people don't really write them off. They don't really think their expectations are not very high. But obviously they're always coming under the radar. They're always in thereabouts. Near the Champions League spaces. I think he's done a very good job there, to be honest.
What do you make right? Because about the sort of thing with Leicester is, I agree with everything you're saying there. The one thing with Leicester though that seems to be their undoing, for me, people talk about the end of the season how they tend to fall off a cliff a little bit. And I just wonder, do you feel like squad depth plays a part in that? Because you mentioned there about like Chilwell left, but they lost James Justin, the lad, is it?
The right, was it the right?
Yeah. Is it Harvey Barnes was injured for a little while as well? The season before they lost Maddison.
Yep.
And it's like, when they won the league, they didn't lose anyone from injuries, did they?
Consistent, wasn't they? Consistent.
Do you think that might be their undoing, is that little bit of squad depth, or do you think it is the quality?
A little bit of both, to be honest. I agree with what you're saying, but also I know this might not really help, but they've moved into a new training facility as well, which the facilities obviously might have, for injury prevention and stuff like that. That might help. You might be able to look at things a bit more in depth. But no, I agree with your points, and it's up to. I think Rodgers is a good manager. I think he's done a good job. Hates me to say it because he was a former Liverpool manager, but credit where credit's due. I'm with you
on that one. There's a time when people going, Rodgers is a big good manager. I was like, not on my fucking watch. Yeah. Philip Merchant says, how much credit transfer team get will be based on how quickly they get more in. Jason was over a year ago. It was over a year in the making. Yeah. Not ready to call them improved just yet. AAO says, I'm sure it's been said 1 million times, but up the RH, it's been said 1,000,001. And also, Philip Merchant's come back in with another chat, and he said, right, forgot to big up the RH. So,
top man.
Feel free to send in.
Feeling the love here, Jay.
Mate, this is what happens when Howson's not here. It's just a lovely atmosphere.
Howson
it's just the one of friendliness, of joy. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's sort of hands across the ocean, and this is what you can do.
You know what? If it wasn't social distancing now,
mate, I'll tell you what. I'm glad you said hugging. I was going to say something else there, but you've kept it clean.
Don't go there, Jay.
Santa Knott says, can Sancho, you can answer this one, can Sancho do it on a wet Tuesday night in Droylsden?
I love that. I'm like you said, it took a year in the making. Hopefully, everything runs smoothly now. It's looking likely. I think he'll come in, and it's up to him. I just hope everyone Just gives it, not saying give him time, but hopefully he comes in, he plays the games and he just rips it up like he's done at Dortmund. I think he's an exciting player. He'll get the fans off the seats when they're all back in the stadiums. I think that's what United fans need, a big lift. I'm not comparing him to Ronaldo, but when he burst on the scene, that's what he got. He was direct, he was skillful. I think that's what we'll get with Sancho. Obviously, not comparing him, but...
You know what though, right? It does my head in a bit, that, because I think you can. You know, when you compare someone, people go, you can't compare him to them. Well, you can compare anyone to anyone else.
I just think...
You're not saying they're as good as them.
No.
You know, you can compare me to Ronaldo and go, I'm nothing like Ronaldo. And that's still comparing me. And so it's like, I understand when people go, you can't compare them.
Yeah.
Well, you can if you're saying that, you know, one's not on the same level, but there's a similarity in terms of
definitely
the situation.
When Ronaldo first burst on the scene on his debut against Bolton, you know, he's exciting, and he didn't have the end product yet, but obviously he's exciting, and that's what the fans need, especially after the pandemic and stuff like that. They need getting off the seats, they need that excitement. I think Sancho will bring that for the United fans, 100%. I think I just seen was it Ronaldo Brown was in the chat there? I've lost it. Ronnie.
I'm sure he
What's
was.
he saying?
I think he was saying something about. Oh God, do you know what? Sorry, this makes great. This viewing, doesn't it? Me trying to find.
This Brew is unreal, by the way.
Is it really?
Honestly.
Do you know what? It's all right. Yeah, producer Callum tonight.
Cal.
He's done well. Hit the like button. People are saying thanks for that. Someone's saying, Ross Murphy says, someone's been saying about Howson's away with his football friend. Football friend, I don't know what you're on about. I want to ask you actually, because earlier you mentioned the fact you've worked with Diogo Dalot.
Yep.
Now, he got the opportunity with Portugal because obviously Cancelo got the COVID. Yep. So Dalot got drafted in as a late replacement into the squad. And got game time as well, didn't he?
Brilliant.
How do you think he got on? Because a lot of people were showing him a bit of love from United fans. I'm saying people saying like, you know, I'm not saying personally I thought he set the world alight when he was in the but I thought he gave a good account of himself and maybe gave Ole Gunnar Solskjaer something to think about. Where do you stand on that?
Obviously, when I first come on to you guys, I said about his ability, his attitude, the way he is as a human being, what a guy he is. And he just needed an opportunity. Understand, at that moment in time, Manchester United wasn't that opportunity for him. He had to go out elsewhere. He went to AC Milan. He played regular. I think he done really well. He was a consistent figure in the team. I think he done in the world of good. And I think, these loan moves for a player like him, a young lad who needs game time to come and go and play, go and develop, go and show, obviously, what he can do. Got him, if he would have stayed at Man United, he wouldn't have got in the Portugal's team. Simple as that.
Yeah.
So the game time clearly worked. I think when he was there, he sees the opportunity. And like you said, he got a lot of love, and I think it's well deserved because he's a top gentleman, top player. His quality is very underrated. I think he just needs to, for me, as a fan, not knowing him personally, I think he just needs to, when he gets the opportunity for United, he really needs to cement his claim because obviously he's got a lot of competition in them areas. I think he does need to come in and show what he can do.
I like Diogo Dalot. He's a nice lad as well, sometimes. Now I shouldn't even say this. Now and again, he likes our Instagram messages, posts about it and stuff like that. I always feel bad that he's not really been given much more of a chance. If it was up to you, there's a choice now. You've got a small transfer budget. You're only going to Solskjaer, and someone's saying, right, don't know if we can get Kieran Trippier. That might stop us getting someone else, or we bring Dalot back. What would you do?
Oh, that's a very tough question.
And don't let the fact that Diogo.
I know. I was going to say that.
He's a personal friend of yours.
We don't want to name drop, do we? You know what I mean? For the subscribers on here, up the RH. It's a very tricky one because I do like Trippier. Yeah. I do like him, but it depends how much money you're talking as well. Obviously,
like we had Romano on here the other week. You're saying something like €40 million.
I think people need to relax with it a little bit. Yeah, the transfer market, if the intelligent with the transfers, I think we'll be fine. Obviously, you're forgetting that we've got Wan-Bissaka. You're forgetting that defensively he's very good. He does need to improve going forward. Yeah, he needs a little bit of the RH in his life. But
I've seen it. I found Ronaldo Brown's comment up the RH. Even looks, your hair is growing, mate, my guy.
Gone, mate. Ronnie, the hair's going. I'm going to have a J.
Don't you be bringing that hairism onto this show, Ronaldo Brown. I have enough of it on the tier 1 transfer pocket. He's a good lad, Ronaldo
knows
Brown.
what he's on about as well.
I won't go that far, but he's alright.
He does.
He's a good
Up
lad.
the RH, Ronnie. Yeah, I just think people need to relax with Trippier, I think.
Yeah.
40 mil's a little bit. I'm not too sure about that.
For a 30-year-old?
Yeah, I think people need to settle down regarding him.
And you know what's going to happen, don't you? If he say he has a great game against Ukraine or whatever.
Oh yeah,
mate.
He'll score a free kick, for example, and then it'll be like,
come on, get him in.
Fabrizio, it's on and all
that. There's an almost here we go. Listen, it's not about Fabrizio anymore, though. It's all about Marcus Rashford, isn't it? He's been breaking transfer.
Marcus, yeah.
See him? Hey, giving the here we go before Fabrizio.
He knows.
Do you reckon Fabrizio was fuming?
I think so, yeah.
You would be, wouldn't you? Because that's his thing.
Has he got copyright on that? Here we go. Do you reckon?
I don't know if he's got.
Rashford.
I don't know, but it's his thing in it. And like
Rashford,
when Rashford's with Sancho as well, so
in the hotel room there with England. Like, come on, let's get it going here.
Yeah,
let's get it going.
We'll just say, we'll say we've been at. There, like, oh mate, and then he's got that sort of like laughing with it.
Yeah, class.
I bet he's like, Marcus Rashford again.
But again, obviously that, we might be talking a little bit in depth now. That might have out, they're close, you say, listen, do you fancy it or whatever, and that might have persuaded his decision. But it's been a year in the making, and hopefully it works out for the lad.
I hope so. I'm excited to see him. I think it's going to give us much better opportunities in terms of moving Mason into the middle.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And stop him putting square pegs in round holes. I've just got a super chat, then I'll ask you something about
that. No
problem. Rico says, assuming you've watched a lot of Jadon Sanchez, have you any coaching tips to help him off the mark? Good to have you back, Jay, and also up the RH. Thanks a lot, Rico.
Top man, Rico.
Lovely comment there. Have you got any tips?
Listen, I love watching him. I think he expresses himself when he plays. Like I said before, he gets the fans off the seats. We've not seen much of him in the Euros. I would have liked to seen a lot more of him. I think, as we go along the competition, hopefully he'll get a little game time.
Were you surprised that he didn't get the nod? Like Saka got the nod ahead of him. Did that surprise you a little bit?
Yeah, it did surprise me. In the friendlies as well before the tournament, he really impressed me. Yeah. Obviously, really impressed me. I think, talking about England, I think Southgate's quite negative with his lineups, but against Germany, it was job done at the end of the day. He got the job done, and the fans might be moaning about the team selection, but they threw. And as they go further on the competition, I want us to worry about ourselves rather than us worrying about other people.
Do you know what though? I can stomach it for England. Like that negativity. Yeah, I don't care if they get a result.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a massive England fan, but I do want them to win.
Yeah.
And I'm sick of hearing about 1966 and banging on about that and 3 lines.
Is it coming home though?
Yeah. Do you know what?
Jay, is it coming home or not?
I just can't. I don't know. I just think at the moment, as it stands, right. This is what I'll say. This is a proper diplomatic answer, but I'm going to give it anyway.
Go on.
I think in terms of quality, and form and everything considered, we're probably the 3rd best team in the competition. Now, some will argue Spain, Italy, and Belgium are all better than us. I would just say Belgium and Italy are. I was
going to say I don't think Spain
have been injured at all. This isn't the Spain of 2008 or 2012. So I would say Belgium and Italy are both better than us, but they're playing each other.
Yeah, I think
so. One of them's out already.
I think we've got a great chance with the draws on our side as well. Yeah. Obviously, we go away to Rome, play a game, then we're back at Wembley. I think that helps. You see in the atmosphere. The other day, would love to have been there. It was rocking. I wonder how many RHs would have been up the RH.
Up the RH, I think that would have been ringing round the stadium for a good 89 minutes. Just other than the goals.
Honestly, with the Paddock subscribers there as well, it would have been booming,
that would have filled at least half. Well, the full stadium. Honestly, it's not even full capacity.
What a fan base!
Well, this is it, man. Do you know what I mean? That's what we'll get. That next time we're there, we'll get it going. Have you ever been to an England game?
I haven't.
Have you not?
I haven't.
I've been to a couple. I got a ticket for. This is how bad it is. My first England game. I couldn't even tell you we played. I can't remember. It was like. Do you know what it was?
0-0 draw.
It was a dead rubber for the qualification for the World Cup. I think it was Bulgaria or someone beginning with B. Belarus. It might have been Belarus actually. And I got a free ticket. I got 4 tickets. So me and my mates went, and then we was in South Africa for the World Cup, just working out there anyway. Like, and then we England got Germany, so we drove. Like, we got this guy to drive us across South Africa, so it was miles away to Bloemfontein.
But that was a trip, wasn't it?
It was a trip. And then we got battered 4-1 with that result.
Is that when the Lampard one, when it hit the bar?
Do you know what? Honestly, I was sat at the other end of the ground,
and you knew it went in,
and we were all cheering. And it was an awful ground as well. Like, all my shins were all scraped because I jumped up to celebrate and I scraped all my shins. Honestly, it made Old Trafford look absolutely palatial. Miss Man United says, Jay, if you say it's coming home, don't bother coming home. That's my missus, that, right?
Is it?
She supports Belgium. She's got no affiliation with Belgium whatsoever. We're about as Belgian as we are bloody Australian.
They're a great side, Belgium.
Yeah.
Fair play.
She's got a Marouane Fellaini thing, and she's always like followed him since he played for him, and now she's stuck with it. So yeah, there's going to be dramas if we get them in the final. Get your questions into Ryan Upper. Let us know what you think about the Euros. I want to ask you about Bruno, because you've worked with him. You know him better than most people. There's a bit of a debate, and I'm a massive Bruno fan, but you could say that he probably didn't do himself justice in the tournament as much as we'd have hoped. Now, whether that was form, whether the fact that you know Portugal themselves weren't great. A lot of people looked at it and say he's played more games than anyone else. I think in Europe he looked a little bit tired. What did you make of his performances? Just from someone who knows him and sees him day in day out. What did you think
he had a long season with ourselves. I think obviously ever present. I think that might have took him out of the legs a little bit. I don't think. Listen, when it comes to Bruno, I think the expectation on Bruno is just off the charts because of the way he's come in and he's turned Man United around. So I think the expectation with Bruno, when he does have quiet games, it's like the end of the world for some people, and they give him all sorts.
It is OTT, isn't it?
Yeah, it is too much.
Was it Hungary where I think he played well? Was it Hungary? I can't remember. I might be getting it wrong. I'm sure it was.
I think he had a game where I think he got 2 assists or something, and then he was poor. It's like
Bruno was anonymous again.
Yeah, stop.
What are you watching again?
Yeah, I think people need to relax with it because, as I say, when he set his standards so high, when he doesn't reach them standards, people start jumping on the bandwagon. He's this, he's that. But listen, Bruno's an exceptional talent, and he had a great season, and he's really changed United. I think in the Euros, I'm not too sure why the manager left him out. Maybe that was due to performances. I think obviously.
I'm I'd be lying if I say I watched Portugal week in week out, but I just couldn't get my head around how the likes of I think it was even Bernardo Silva and Moutinho and that, and even mate. I mean, do you reckon you could use him almost off the striker? He could have played.
I think obviously. He was
he's out on the wing at one point.
Exactly, he was number 11. The squad number was number 11. Whether they played him in wide areas, but I think also as well. At United, he is the main man. So when it comes to penalties, free kicks, he's on him. Whereas, obviously, I'm not saying it's down to not being the big dog, but when it comes to a free kick on edge of the box, Bruno's just waiting behind Ronaldo. I think on one stage, it was in a great area, and I'm thinking, if Bruno gets on this, now it's a goal.
Well,
Ronaldo hits the wall. It's like, come on.
I remember that, and it wasn't even like the top of the wall. It was like low in the wall, wasn't it?
But the area was, obviously, Ronaldo, this is a coach's thing now. The area, being close to the goal was more of a whipped over the wall, a whip one rather than the dip. And I'm thinking you're too close here to even get it up and over. So just go for the Bruno, get a little whip round it, and it didn't. He went for a thing and it hit the wall. I'm thinking, what is going on here? But I'm not saying that's just
but do you know what? It's like the one against the Scousers in the FA Cup, wasn't it? Edge of the box, a little whip there,
it's
bang.
RH Elite Coaching. Go on the videos, you'll see some little whippage.
I think he might have even phoned you just before he took it. He said, Oppa, what should I do here?
Yeah.
Said, just
Ronnie's on it. He said, Ronnie's on it, so I can't jump on it.
But no, I think there is an element of quick, how can we get at Bruno?
I think it's too much sometimes.
I don't think he was amazing. I'm not pretending that. No. I think some of the criticism was OTT.
Listen, there's been games this year where, obviously, for United, where he has been quiet. And if you ask him myself, listen, I've not had a great game there. Yeah. But then obviously when he plays average, you'll go, his average is not opening on his person, but he's not going to be exceptional every week, I think, because he set his standards so high. I think everyone should automatically expect a lot off him. I think I've seen something else where he doesn't get much credit because he's not as, on the eye, technically as other players, but stats don't lie at the end of the day.
No.
Everyone's on about his, the way he's on the ball and the composure. He's fantastic at that. Just because he doesn't do a million step overs doesn't make him not effective.
Do you know what? I mean, what I thought, I don't know whether you agree. He was sort of, I think he was dropped for one game and he came on as sub, and he's dropped for another game and he comes on as sub. And I just think he'd have been better off dropping him for one game completely and then starting the next. Do you know what I mean? Because he came on who was it in knocked him out? Was it not Portugal? Was it France? I can't remember. No.
France.
Yeah. And then was it France? What was Portugal's last game? I can't even remember.
Was it a little shocker? Was it? France was a shocker, wasn't it? Switzerland, France's, wasn't it?
Belgium, wasn't it?
Belgium.
Sorry, I forgot it all. I just think I'd remember that one. Yeah. But he came on and then
he's only got
exactly. She'll be in the comments now reminding me of that one. But he came on and it's he's trying to get into the game. It's like you say, trying to get on the ball, trying to make things happen. And I just feel like
also as well when you're coming into games like that, when you that sort of play where you're trying to make things happen and you're in games like that where sides might sit off and be defensive, it's hard to get into games like that, especially coming on as a sub.
Yeah, 100%, mate.
Going back to your question, I think people do jump on him quite a lot because of the standards that he's set, which is fair enough because his standards are so high. But just relax a little bit. It just does me head in.
CJ Legend 89 says, "Great show, guys. Jay, have you ever been confused for Dion Dublin in the streets of Manchester?" Do you know what? Right, years ago, I've always had a bald head, really. And I went to the Celtic versus United game at Old Trafford, and I ended up in the Celtic end. I was only a kid, I didn't have a ticket. You know, you like when you're a kid, you go to Old Trafford without a ticket and try and jib in and all that nonsense. And the Celtic fans were racing, like, come in with us.
Yeah, class.
And then he just told the steward, like, at the turnstile, he went, "He's in with us, just let him in." And the turnstile guy was only friendly. I think it was Mark Hughes' testimony. He was just like, "Yeah, go in, I don't really care." And I think Dion Dublin scored, and then they all started calling me Dion.
No, I love that.
Fans Dion, like, laughing. So yes, I have. Arjun there says, "Love the content, keep it up, guys." Big T Guitar says, "Up the RH. When I'm a pro, you'll be my coach." I'm 44 with type 2 diabetes, but a boy's got a dream. Do you know what, mate?
We work with
never
them
give
all.
up. Never exactly. I'm 41 and I'm still not giving up
Work
hope.
with them all. Top man.
Santa Notch says, "Can we have a sorry I butchered your name on a t-shirt?" Yes, we can. We'll sort it out. Galvatron says, "Where is Howson?" He's off. He's away. So, the kid's away, so the adult's taking over the channel for a bit. Don't worry about it.
Our backs are killing, carrying his brew.
Do you know what I mean?
Howson's brewing. Howson's not even on it. What's going on here? RH and Motty and RH's brew. Howson out, RH and Motty.
Yeah, get involved in the comments. Let us know if you want.
Hashtag that.
Yeah, hashtag that. We'll do a little coup d'etat and get rid of Howson. Hit that like button as well, because there's quite a few of you watching. None of you are liking it. Come on, we're not that bad. One thing I wanted to, just to go backwards. Sorry, I forgot to ask you this about Fred.
Yeah,
he plays as a sort of. We play him in the 6, don't we?
Yeah,
play him as a DM. Are we sticking a player that isn't in that position? Like, isn't a natural for that position in that position? Do you feel that because he feels to me like he's more box to box or even attacking at times, or can he play in that role? Because
I think with his fitness levels, when I worked with him out of Bruno and Dalot, his fitness levels were the best.
Really,
he was just sharp and he was the best. But when it comes to the finishing and stuff like that, then obviously it's not his game. Yeah. You know what I mean? So obviously you got Bruno and Dalot hitting worldies, and you've got him hitting little side nettings and little nice little things. They're different. But I think when you're in that position as an holding midfielder, I think, like I said before, I think you should protect, and I think you should do your job and feed it to the likes of Bruno and the attacking options, because that's what they're paid to do. They're paid to get, goals, assists. I think, he has got the fitness levels to get up and down, but when he gets in front of goal, he hasn't got the composure that Bruno has. So I think he should just sit in the little holding midfield role, get it, give it, break things up. Thanks for coming. Up the RH, give it Bruno. Ding dang do.
There you go. Do you know what?
Thanks for coming.
I saw Roy Keane's autobiography. I saw it. I read it even. His first one he's done soon. He said that when he went to Forest, Brian Clough gave him best advice. He said, "Your job is to get hold of the ball and give it to a red shirt.
Just play to your strengths.
Yeah. Like get hold of it and give it to a red shirt. Don't want to try anything fancy."
Fred is not a fancy player, so break things up, get it, give it, and it'll be much more effective rather than going on mad little runs and miss hitting it and going wide. Because then the fans will call you shit. Yeah. Because then obviously you're looking shit. Whereas if you do your things that you're really good at, and a couple of games, a lot of games last season, he went under the radar, and some fans that usually hated on him go, "You know what? Fair play, he had a good game there. He covered every blade of grass. He got around it, and he man-marked this person, this man-marked, and that's what he's good at. Just keep to that."
Mate, I was at the Etihad, and McCullough was off. I did the fan cams, and my fan cam, I think my title was an apology to Fred. Because I was like, the guy was immense.
Just covered every blade of grass.
At the Etihad against City's midfield, and he dominated.
And when he does that, like as I say, he's another one. He's a brilliant guy, like fantastic. He's limited English, but he's a great guy. Has a laugh. He's a little joker. Like was doing a shooting drill with Bruno. You probably have mentioned this to you before. Bruno, Fred, and Dalot and Stephen Ireland was doing a shooting drill, and he was just full of banter. Bruno would hit it, and he like hit it over, and he'd be like a pigeon. He was going cacao, cacao, and all this, and just talking Brazilian to each other, like having a laugh. He was just an absolute character, like a pigeon, like doing pigeon noises when
Portuguese
people hit it over.
Even, as he
Portuguese. Yeah, sorry, like just a joke, absolute joker. But obviously he doesn't take himself too serious, and he knows shooting's not his game. But what he's very good at is a fit.
Does he know shooting's not his game?
Well, from working with the RH, I think you should know.
It's funny because you remember the Spurs game where everyone was giving him pelters because he kept shooting, and then he went and scored. He got his
and that was another one. My mentions of my feet went off on when he scored.
Were you getting a lot of
mate? Hey. And I've got Steve sent me something through where he was in the Europa League final, and it was the Paddock. Somebody put it on TikTok. The Paddock reaction when Fred walked up, and everyone was going, "Oh, mate. Fucking hell! Get me off! Get me this! Get me that!" And Steve was going, "No, I trust him." As they're about to do up the RH,
what were
up
you
the RH.
thinking when he steps up? Were you like,
you know what? I'm going to be brutally honest with you, Jay.
I'm going to get pelters here now.
My phone was already going off before that, but I was nervous. I'm a United fan anyway, and the performance was, obviously, we won't talk about it, was horrendous. So I thought, oh, Fred, don't be the guy, because you'll be the scapegoat again. You know what I mean? Yeah. But, mate, the video, we did pens after our sessions, and the video of Fred hitting the pen in my session was the same as hitting in the final. It was mad. So, hey, guys, know who the main man is here.
David De Gea's probably going to hating on you now.
Cheers, so David.
If you hadn't told him now, I wouldn't be the scapegoat.
Nice one, mate.
Listen, I don't think you can blame David De Gea for missing a penalty. It's not his job to take bloody penalties. No. Jason
blame
McMillan
him for not saving him.
I know, mate. That's another story we don't need to get into. Jason McMillan, thanks for that, Jason. Sorry. Yeah, saying congrats on that. Yes, thank you. Appreciate that. Nice comment there. Someone else asking, you guys are not watching the Spain game. What time's that kick-off in 20 minutes? Yes, we'll be watching that. And we've got a watch-along as well for the Belgium game. We're going to be over on Twitch.
Nice.
We're doing stuff on Twitch. So it's going to be me and Joe on Twitch later on. So make sure you join us. We'll put a link in the chat. We'll put a link as well for RH. One thing I want to talk to you about, it says it on the thumbnail, is new contracts pending. There's talk of us getting Bruno tied down to a contract. I'm guessing that you're all for that.
Oh, 100%. I think he deserves it. Performance related, I think he deserves it as well.
Because I'm hearing, I'm not necessarily sort of thing you discuss with him, but there was talk he's not on
he's not the highest paid.
No, he's not, is he? Because when he came to Sporting, didn't he get in relative terms to what other players got, he got quite a low wage. Yeah.
I think when he come, I think it was middle of the board sort of thing, but obviously performance related, he deserves another contract. He deserves a lot more money, because he is Man United's main man.
Of course,
whether you you like him, you dislike him, he is United's main man.
I think if you dislike Bruno Fernandes, you've got fucking issues. If you're a United fan, honestly, you know what, right? I go on about this RH all the time, mate. But I came out of that Burnley game, and honestly, I might not be melodramatic. I first went to watch United in the 80s, and I can't remember a worse performance. I was just like, we're awful.
They needed a lift. They needed
awful.
Needed a right lift.
I was thinking, if you think we're getting Champions League football, you're fucking deluded. You got no chance. And then Bruno came in, and we didn't
just
lose
the lift. The lift was crazy. It was just enthusiasm, quality.
Yeah,
miles better.
Right. One thing I wanted to ask you as well about is Paul Pogba. Yep. Spoke about Bruno, get him a contract. Yeah, don't really think there's an issue there, is there, with Bruno?
No, I don't think so.
And stuff like that. But Paul Pogba, I mean, this has been going on since 2011. I'm not even joking. It has, and then he went to Juventus, came back obviously, and now we're again. He's got a year left on his deal. There's talk of maybe United, if we had to make a choice of him going for nothing in the summer or selling him now, of actually keeping him and letting him go for nothing in the summer. What would you do if it was up to you? I mean, obviously, I presume you want to try and keep him, but
yeah, I would. Well, I was
would
just going to
mention. Would you be happy to keep him for a season and let him go for nothing?
No,
or would
it
you
wouldn't make sense business wise, would it? That I don't think so. And if United do that, then obviously they're missing on the business side of it. They're missing out massively.
Do you think there's a case? I mean, you're right. Obviously, I'm not going to argue with you letting Paul Pogba go for nothing when you paid 89 million for him. He's bonkers.
Business wise, crazy.
If we kept him for a season, could he be the sort of player that maybe wins us a trophy? Whereas if you sell him now, 50 million because he's only got a year left, are you going to replace him with like for like? Where does he stand with that?
You know what? He's been watching him in the Euros. He's just been a different player, and I think I don't know whether that's down to styles. I don't know whether he's be playing with other players or whatever. That could accommodate him a little bit better. But he's been his goals, his assists. I think he's been a pleasure to watch in the Euros. But I would love to keep him, but he doesn't. His agent's a clown, innit?
Really?
He's a clown. So whether Pogba wants to stay or wants to go, he's just wants a bit of Ken Dodd, doesn't he? He doesn't want. He's not got the best interest of his player. He's just got the money, just money. But I would love to keep him. And if he ever needs a session, Up the RH, you know where he is.
Listen, Paul Labille, if you're watching, up the RH. Also, what I'll ask you about Raphael Varane. He's one that's been linked with us. It looks like this could be happening. I didn't think
I would love it to happen.
How good do you think him and Maguire would be as a centre-back partnership? Do you think
I would be very, very happy with that.
Yeah?
Very, very happy. I think he's had a great spell at Real Madrid. I think with Zidane going, I think it might be time to move on, give yourself a bit of a fresh start. I think coming over to England would be a fantastic test for him. I think obviously with Ramos possibly going PSG, I think it cuts that move out potentially.
Yeah, because they're not going to get them both, are they?
No. So I think United, if they went for him, and I think it'd be a fantastic signing. What's your thoughts on that, do you reckon?
I think Raphael Varane's one of the top defenders in the
well,
world.
love him, mate. I think he's very good.
I think it's that simple. I don't think, you need to overthink it. Look at what he's won. Look at who he played for. Look at some of the performances along the way. I mean, the kid is 28, but he's won the lot.
He has.
And it just the style of him as well. You think him and Maguire
complement each other really well. No, they would.
And I know he's not had it all his own way in terms of fitness, but he's more reliable fitness-wise than likes of Eric Bailly.
Yeah, of course. Bailly, listen, when Bailly can be either fantastic or it can be Bambi on ice. There's no in between. So, if you're going to challenge for the titles, or you're going to do better things, you're going to develop as a team, I think you need to strengthen in that area. And I think if they can get him, I reckon they should do it quickly, and I think they should just get it done.
If we get Sancho, well, we're getting Sancho, that's fucking done deal, innit? If we get Varane and no one else, you think that's enough for a title challenge, or do you think we still need more?
I would go one over.
What position would you go for?
I think centre forward. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. You fancy?
I like Cavani. I do like him. I think he's got 1 year left. Is it?
Yeah. He signed
and I think I do like him. I just think if you have just someone who just score goals like a Kane or someone like that, I reckon it'll just be that'll be perfect in my opinion.
I agree. Someone like a Kane would be phenomenal. Yeah. But for me, I just feel like we need an out-and-out CDM.
Yeah.
I feel like we're still, because you've made good points obviously about what Fred does there. Yeah. Somebody's the same, but I feel like with those two, you have them together, don't you?
Yeah.
I feel like if you did have an out-and-out CDM, that might free up.
Definitely someone who's established and experienced in there. Definitely.
But I think that I still feel that we can't. It sounds. Oh, Joe Smith's in the house.
Joe Smith. Is that Joe?
We've just been talking about me and him. We'll be on Twitch later, watching Belgium versus Italy, supporting Belgium because my missus is a massive Belgian fan, and I don't want to get Marva when I get home. There's people in the chat saying about Locatelli. What have you made of him?
I like him. I do like him.
Yeah.
And I think again he'll be a fantastic addition, but it's whether they can get it done.
It doesn't seem. We asked
whether they can get it done or not.
We asked Romano about that one because Locatelli obviously shining for Italy.
Yeah,
people are going, he scored those couple of goals. And people going, why don't we get him? But there's been no sort of moves.
It's whether they can get it done or not.
You're not going to. I don't think that one is going to happen anytime soon. Just before we wrap up, I want to ask you about a couple of outgoings. Jesse Lingard had an absolute amazing spell at West Ham. Was arguably the Premier League's best player for those 2-3 months, whatever it was, when he was there. Yeah. 9 goals and 4 assists, I think it was. Almost took them into the Champions League, which was just unheard of. Would you let him go, or would you keep him?
Obviously, talking for him, Jesse. If I was Jesse, the way I would see it is obviously I know he's been at Man United since he was a young lad, and obviously he's emotionally invested in the football club, and he probably does want to come back and give it a go and get himself in the side. But again, like I said about Dalot, he went out, he proved himself, he had games. Lingard wasn't in the England picture for years or whatever. He got himself back in. Yeah, he didn't go to the Euros, but he would never have been in that position if he didn't go there and rip it up. I think for Lingard's development, if I was him, I would, although it would hurt him, I would go to somewhere like West Ham, I would play regular, I would have the rest of my career, I would do really well. And just concentrate on himself now. I don't think he owes anyone anything. I think, he just needs to concentrate on himself now. As a United fan, I would wish him the best of luck. I think he's a top player, but will he play week in, week out for us? No. I don't think he will. You've got Bruno, you've got, obviously they've invested in Van der Beek, he's not really played, so he's got to be next year they've probably got to play him a little bit more. They've got other options. They're bringing Sancho in. You've got Rashford. He's a great player, but if I was him and for his development, I would move on. I think it would be best for him.
Yeah, I've sort of said a similar thing myself, mate. I love Jesse Lingard, I really do. I just don't know if you're going to get the form we've seen at West Ham if he comes back to United. It just wasn't happening for him at United.
A lot more pressure as well, like United.
He didn't seem like his old self, did he? He seems to lose a bit of his swagger. But if he went, mate, if Jesse Lingard goes...
He's a top player.
He's a top player.
Top kid as well. Yeah. Top kid as well.
We've interviewed him, I think, about 5 times when we were Devils. As you know, on the channel previously, we interviewed him when he was at Brighton. We've interviewed him. There was a time when he did a fan cam where he bought everyone in Hotel Football a drink after the season, mate. Like, honestly, and last time we sat down with him in a chippy in Altrincham, which was his idea. We didn't interviewed him in a chipper, and he was dead honest. He said about struggling and having a psychologist and that sort of stuff, which I've always got a lot of respect for people who talk about mental health.
No, it's important.
It's
important,
man,
and it's done in the world of good, even for headspace as well. Maybe getting away and concentrating on his football and having that family time. I think for the best thing for him would be to go and play football, because he's got it. Yeah. He's got it. He's done really well when he went there. Player of the month. Like nominees, player of the month, goals, assists.
And he wasn't that far off going to the Euros, was he? He was in that 20-odd squad, wasn't he? And then it got whittled down. I don't think he...
People were saying it's a fraud that he's not going because of his form. And same with Ward-Prowse as well. Everyone was going, whoa, why is Henderson going and this and that? But, another day.
Another day. Nazim Rahman in the Super Chat says, Jay is sexy as fuck. It's coming home. Was it? And thank you for that. He's obviously started drinking this morning. We're going to wrap it up there. RH, give us a plug. Where can people find you?
Instagram. Do you mind putting the links in there underneath? Oh, brilliant.
Twitter's in the description.
Instagram.
Instagram as well.
RH_elite coaching.
We'll do a swipe up in a minute.
YouTube as well. Get that YouTube going. I need to get that going.
Are you doing a YouTube? How many videos have you been posting?
There's a lot, but the subscribers, I think it's over near for 1,000 subscribers. I think I need to get a little bit of a push here now, I think.
Well, listen.
Guys, come on.
What's the name of the... Is it just RH
Elite Coaching? Get on that. Give me a bit of love on there.
Well, you're already on YouTube because you're watching this. Go and find RH Elite Coaching. Give him a follow. Give him a subscribe. He loves all that.
Yeah, I love all that.
And you guarantee if you watch a few of those videos, you'll be as good as Bruno. That is a guarantee. All right? That's what... All your money back. Anyway, I better stop talking before I get us on trouble.
Mate.
That's been Ryan Hopper from RH Elite Coaching.
Thank you.
I've been Jay Motty. This has been Howson's Brew. Don't forget as well to hit the like button, hit share, hit subscribe, and hit the notifications bell so you get a notification when we do go live with any updates. Thanks for watching.